Dude, this is like crack editing. Oh my god. Genshin Impact review by Max0r. This guy has an editing style equivalent to a hyena on cocaine, so I'm very excited. I don't think I've ever watched any of his videos fully. So, here we go.
Soul and killed my dog. Genshin Impact is a game which has sucked away my soul and killed my dog. I first began
bold start.
All the cute women, then experienced apotheosis and a philosophical enlightenment through the death of my own ego. I love Genshin Impact, but this game will have an impact on your social life, and even after you stop playing, you will not recover. To this day, it has left me in a perpetual state of sophisticated malding, and I recommend it for all the wrong reasons.
Is it actually that rage-inducing?
Genshin Impact, an extra-dimensional being whose brother was eaten by Mega Blocks and is forced to navigate Avatar: The Last Airbender for weeaboos. Powered by its simple chemistry system,
not really.
Characters electrocute, burn, and throw rocks at each other. One of those is much less cool, but
I feel like I'm in a
Pythagoras was my primary source of damage. Now
I feel like I'm in an ADHD like nightmare experience right now.
To save our siblings by fighting geometry, the indigenous inhabitants of Twitter, space midgets, and the KGB. As well, we are here to explore, solve puzzles, prop hunt.
It's just annoying to climb.
Looking at jongling too much, get sentenced to 10 years, and emerge from prison a devout Buddhist. This video is going to be about my playing this interesting game and how
that sounds like an experience.
It's a very bad sign when most people who play the game don't recommend it, but I do.
Dude, this is Overwatch. This is like, hey, I know you like Overwatch. Should you play it? Should I play Genshin Impact? No.
It, but I do.
So true, though.
Slightly a dingus.
Should I play Overwatch? No.
Take my opinion as fact.
I hate it.
As entertainment. So whether you're new
but you
to strange, otherworldly Chinese software or a Genshin Pro, please allow me to tell you the tale of how this left a Genshin Impact into my frontal lobe.
Okay. Dude, how long do you think this takes to edit?
That most Genshin players don't know. The age of consent is 18 years old. Let's begin with what's important. Not the game, story, nor anything.
Dude, that took me a second to sink in. He's like roasting them because it's kind of
gain attractive people and then parading them around like a TLC. I do not exaggerate when I say this is probably what attracted most people to this game. If you want an example,
do you think
the character who continually refers to herself as One-sama and sounds like she is at all times on the verge of sex? Yeah. I received
is that legit?
And then decided that I
is she that horny, chat?
To do rock climbing. That way, I could repeatedly hear her oddly enthusiastic moaning.
Oh my god, that's what she sounds like while climbing? More? Are you serious?
Images of Ganyu, since the official lore of the game specifies that he killed a monster after being eaten by it because it was so big it blocked his trachea and suffocated him to death. However, there is a catch. I don't have Ganyu, and I never will. You have a random chance to get characters, and
I wanted to play Ganyu. Oh no, because I like her design.
So if you want a particular character, get fucked. You could have your very first role be a high-level DPS character that carries you through the game with chimpanzee martial arts. Or you could roll 3 useless small boys in a row and then desire them.
I too am a small boy, so
God damn it.
I feel like you know,
could be deal breaker.
The synergy would be strong.
Is very strong and has ring 0 permissions on your kernel. This means that it can read and write memory at any location in your computer without seg faulting.
3 useless small boys is so accurate. Do they suck?
Harvest my computer's data. All he will find is 50 pages of Waluigi hentai. It's your loss. And yes,
sucker.
Often the game isn't running. So this review is going to include a guide on how to have fun.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I didn't want to download it to begin with.
Depression. Step 1: play as optimally as you want. Do not try to min-max shit.
The only character I wanted I can't get, so I stopped playing. Rip.
With whatever you
what character did you want?
In my case, I decided that I would roleplay as a violent misandrist and only play as women out of principle. Any would be locked at level 1 and made useful in the coal mines.
You
to engage in combat. If I
can you actually send them to the coal mine?
The characters is that they are potential wives, and I am absolutely, definitely, 1000%.
Dude, I think like 90% of people probably only play as the women.
Man ass, so fuck it.
Although I know a lot of girls who play Genshin though.
Questionable female to be my digital puppet. The chance of me receiving that would be 0.3%, which is where this.
Oh my god.
What you can get with the roles. Don't be mad. Exercise.
Are some of the rules 0.3%?
More fun. I definitely have not sold my house.
Pirate Greatsword Mommy? Oh yeah. Oh, that one.
Your thoughts?
Wait, literally. Wait, literally. Is this who you wanted?
I have not sold my house to get big titty pirate mommy. But Max,
Do you want big titty pirate mommy more?
playing a single image of a regular
I see.
on my screen. And also, what is the world of Genshin Impact and why are we here? That is a great question, James. Because before we get into the exploration and the combat,
I will say the world is
the
pretty.
context with which I run my beauty pageant, and like every game made by Asian people,
Sure did.
the lore is some Hyperborean bullshit. So let's say rule number 2 of enjoying the game is not caring about this, just like 90% of the player base.
Yep. I know Lunar is really into the lore.
God is ruled collectively by 7 gods who govern the 7 elements. Except the nature god, he's special. This came about because 2,800 years ago, there were like 80 gods or something. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. No, but actually 7 seals opened up in heaven, so literally every god fought.
Fun fact, I have actually had a Roman candle fight myself, IRL.
Each element we see today,
It was a poor decision when I was 16.
Fucked up ways. Every once in a while, these delusional bastards will just give random people superpowers. Like how the electricity god just gave disorder a talking bird. This also includes small children who could very possibly kill themselves for some reason. Now, the world you see in game takes place in 2 nations or 3 if you're from the
Really selling me here.
Mondstadt, a lawless, anarcho-capitalist commune in New Hampshire, which has no formal governance of any kind. They instead rely institutionally on vigilante justice, including a hot Batman. As a result, the entire territory of their nation is completely overrun with wolves. No one has the systemic authority to stop people from exercising their rights and liberties to feed the wolves babies. Oh, also, there's the fucking dragon problem. Did I not mention the murderous dragon? Next, we have the...
That seems like it would be a problem for society.
...powerful country to the east. They have recently come into conflict with Mondstadt due to the Luhua Pool massacre of 69, as well as an aggressive...
Oh my god.
...involving a 9-dashed line in the Sea of Clay.
Dude, this is like crack editing. Oh my god.
Liyue Qi Xing, those are all real names. Liyue exhibits an unprecedented level of prosperity and control, living happily under the watchful eye of the rock god, who periodically disguises himself.
This is Zoomer editing? I know.
Behaving well.
I feel like I'm watching a 30-minute long TikTok video.
Now China.
Where's Subway Surfer?
Making video games. Yet in my country, we have a long history of shooting people. But who live in Liyue and who
Jesus Christ.
is unfortunate. Populating this extensive world will be
That got me, Maury. That got me.
elemental specializations.
Holy shit.
Bullshit. The enemy variety of this game paints a picture of a post-apocalyptic nightmare world where raving bands of savages constantly destroy everything, locking humanity in a perpetual state of warfare with armies of bandits and the midget people. One of these groups is the Hillitons, an intelligent race capable of empathy and complex thoughts, which is why they must be destroyed. These guys make the Gombe chimpanzee war look like a fucking joke, and at
Oh my god.
in the entire game even give a shred of sympathy for the Hillitons, except
Oh no.
they can be big gorilla, small monkey, operate
Wait, there's Elon Musk?
have their own language. This makes it more fun to slaughter entire villages of them and steal their possessions with no consequences. In fact, you're encouraged to do it.
Damn, dude.
Rate them a genocide.
That's pretty dark.
Country-sized hordes of
That's funny because it's kind of like how Pokemon, you don't really realize how like dark it is in theory.
and Molotov cocktails are you sure we're the good guys. It's fortunate that, because they committed a crime, their lives are now forfeit. Big mages are very simple because they are one enemy with 2 reskins, who are also inhuman beings of the Dark Void who have sworn vengeance upon humanity itself. They also dwell almost entirely in fucking space. The Vtuber of Snezhnaya are heavily armed.
Dude, this sounds like a lot of nonsense.
The world of Teyvat through subterfuge and employing 9-foot tall.
I know some people are like really into the lore,
They are unique among Teyvat.
but it's just yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Also known
This reminds me of like a lot of fantasy, especially JRPG lore,
electricity.
where I'm just like, dude, I'm checking out. I don't care about this wacky race of space people. You know what I mean?
Or like a bank heist. They're also really
Baldur's Gate's incredible, but the Githyanki are wacky,
90% slime.
which I guess is a D&D thing, but
I spent most of the fight waiting to do something.
yeah, I said what I said.
Computer deactivate iguana.
That's what the combat is all about.
Where the
Sometimes it's like,
How does he pull this?
Computer deactivate iguana.
that's really what the combat is all
How did he think of that?
It's like, holy fuck, that is a whale. And other times it's like,
It's like, dude, let me pull that clip from Star Trek Next Generation episode 12 where he talks about iguanas. This will be perfect.
Shit Getting Intact is a game about flow, where to maximize their power, the player dynamically switches between their DPS character and everyone else. Rule number 3 of Genshin Impact: pick one. Your typical team is comprised of DPS.
I actually don't know how it works.
Your burst support and moral support. Think of it like a train. You only need one engine and enough weight to kill Terry Davis. Now, like everything,
oh my god,
elemental
Doom engine, Thomas the Tank engine
can ruin the game. My wife Barbara could heal me, but in the process,
it's way too complex. Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Makes us a proverbial bathtub, which enemies will then catapult.
Once you start using like wacky names too, I also check out.
You feel like a chemistry professor gone rogue, using the elements to his advantage and then blowing himself up in the process. Unless your DPS uses rocks, in which case, you know, just watch, I guess. Everything is elements, and everyone has an elemental skill and alignment.
Okay.
Unless you're the nature.
So what I saw is you get like 3 characters, and I guess you swap between like elemental advantages. Is that basically the deal?
Like how Beto's elemental skill adds a parry mechanic to the game, or how Ningguang invalidates
4. Okay, cool.
The combat is definitely its strength, and is an experiment in how bad you can craft your psychotic dog water alchemy, and hopefully create
excuse me?
strong enough to kill God. To extend this concept,
okay,
uses one of 5 unique weapon classes, such as Mongolian, Controller Erosion, the Waiting Game, Egg Catapults, and the Speed.
Dude, I feel like I'm getting brain rot in real time, but I'm here for it.
No, it's random, get fun. Now, this would all be excellent gameplay if it didn't sometimes amount to throwing 2 sponges at each other. Enemies scale to the
Imagine watching this on 2 times speed.
come by. So depending on your investment, some enemies could take minutes to kill. This all amounts to making a classic video game build, the tank, entirely useless. You don't need a tank because you will be switching to your DPS anyways, who is a tank against your will. Health is literally always a shackle.
Interesting.
That is, of course, unless you're playing Barbara, whose healing scales only off of health, making her tankier than Tien. Let's go over an example.
Oh my god.
Some idea of the insane.
Oh my god.
It is optimal in most of my combat scenarios to cause forest fires by throwing a spicy bear. Why? Well, it's obvious.
I respect spicy bear.
Beto can parry anything, which includes the heat.
There's a girl, Mori.
How about Ningguang, who spawns a wall inside of enemies like it's Gary's mod? We just do it to piss them off. Did I? You can invite your insane Discord stalker to play co-op with you. The combat is fully functional.
Hello, Max.
I made a mistake, and this isn't a complicated system by which you customize artifacts, upgrade your weapon, and level your character.
Yeah, that's fair, Mori.
It's boring. It can be made especially boring when you have to pick 30 mushrooms to do it, but you know.
Interesting. You know, I thought about making a gacha mechanic in my channel. Not money-based, like channel points-based, just to be clear. Unless.
Get ready for cross-country gaming, because we literally have a lot of ground to cover. So rule number 4 of Genshin Impact is that if you see something, just go.
Yeah, that's very fair, Maury. That's very fair.
This game looks identical to Breath of the Wild, right down to the UI. This is an objectively correct assessment. It's just
that's what I thought.
Give a shit, and neither should we. Breath of the Wild was so good that I wanted Breath of the Wild with more anime pussy, because goddamn, why did Nintendo make Zelda look like that? The amount of
that's fair.
Suddenly makes sense when you realize it has the geography of fucking Afghanistan. It's quite the vertical place, but you're given the tools to navigate it, like your feet or your sweat. And there is quite a bit to see. So, for an example, when I first installed the game, I didn't know that Liyue was in it. That's over half of the map. I was doing a quest.
Oh my god.
A wild radish, so I naturally...
Is it actually huge?
...and accidentally discovered the entirety of Ming Dynasty China, at which point I was wrongfully assaulted after mistaken for opium. This is one of those games...
Oh, it's fucking massive. Is it really?
Within 30 minutes are flying to a strange island with a man named...
It is true that it...
Actually not that different.
I think it actually...
This game makes...
At first, why I didn't like it, because it did feel like kind of super ripping off Breath of the Wild. But I will say they did sort of iterate on it visually a little bit. A little bit.
An entire region of the game where you have to climb 3...
The map is pretty sus, though.
...an afternoon doing that, and it's viable. There is no direction that you can go that will not help you in some tangible way, and that's what...
Oh my god.
Exploration.
It's random, like...
optimal. You see
dark humor injected in the middle of nowhere.
Exploring this game trains your neurons to fire at the most basic of incentives, like a lab chip. chimp. But seriously, if you aren't yet considering the game, just have fun exploring it, stop and smell the flowers, and accidentally find China over a vegetable. I found it eventually. It took 3 hours.
You know,
If the review had
sometimes.
this would be a definite
Whoops,
recommend.
accidentally woke up in China.
It is free. It costs $0.
It happens, you know.
Yank your bank. Not that I would know. But I must warn you that there are some serious drawbacks besides the fucking Chinese surveillance state that you have to install. So it's time to give you the final tools and rules that you need to enjoy this game.
Okay.
The numeris quinque of Genshin Impact is just, please God, use the resin every day.
What the? Oh my god. Oh my god. What is happening right now?
Explain that, you have to understand that this game works by mostly giving you what
Okay.
you need when you seek it out.
Unless it's crit damage.
So you don't end up mindlessly slogging for 10 hours a day for a single goddamn Warframe
Oh
chest.
my god.
When it comes to grinding, there is a clever way to make
This is insanity.
the entire game, which is that the game just stops you. You expend resin when you kill a boss, want money, want XP, want artifacts, want to live, want to see my daughter again, pretty much anything. And if you have no resin, well, better wait. God will collect
So,
resistance tax.
resin's like the main form of currency?
Res is an eternal fixture of the universe, and although it's nice to have fair guarantees for artifacts, it has the unique side effect of stopping the game from being played. You get 160 a day.
Oh.
You spend 40 for boss loot, so good luck. And if
Oh no.
get ready for rule 6, which is, yeah, you gotta do the daily quests. We Genshin players are always hard at work on the daily dopamine farms, putting in that grind so that we can have a 4-star project every 20 days. It really makes a man wonder why we bothered with making murder illegal in the first place. Thank you, Kane. This game can give you a lot if you decide to commit.
Yeah, Kane done
If you
goofed.
don't, you will be scraping for crack crystals in a back alley, maybe make a YouTube video. That alone is probably enough to discourage most people. I thought I was going to be one of those people until I realized that I liked the game. Stockholm Syndrome is actually cool, and for our fun, you don't want to play with English voices. Set it to literally any other language except English. Now, the voice work isn't horrendous.
Interesting.
But, it doesn't sound like the dialogue was actually written for English, and the translation is fucking hilarious.
Frightened him so badly that he's paralyzed with fear.
We've looked everywhere and haven't seen anything.
So do what I do and play in Japanese, then switch the game to Chinese whenever you're in Liyue for maximal immersion.
感受到盐的元素力了吗？
Dear Mr. Sheep, please send missiles to liberate my country from the yoke of capitalism. Now,
Oh my
what
Jesus
should you play
Christ.
the game? Only if you have self-control. It's not worth
Oh my god, dude. This guy is edgy.
Give me your money so I can spend it responsibly. Remember, the game is free, and so
It's true, but it's also edgy.
kind Chinese billionaires and international arms dealers of the
Oh my
afflicted by
god.
hopeless and deadly addictions. If you would like to help fund the videos corrupting America's youth in the name of Naxalite Maoism, you can head to the description to
And the game itself is a huge file. Is it really?
course. Your IP address has already been traced.
Jesus Christ. That was a trip, dude. That was 16 minutes? That felt like 30 seconds. That was heroin editing. Oh my god. That was very impressive.